Hi, Tim Cant here, and in this video I'm going to take a look at an approach to production that isn't discussed much. It's very simple, extremely effective, and I've been using this mindset to make records for decades. First, want tutoring? Book a slot with yours truly, link in the description. I'll solve all your production problems lickety-split. So, many producers I encounter, especially if they're beginners, tend to treat the blank canvas of an empty project like a chore and will do the bare minimum to fill up the arrangement and make a piece of music with as little effort as possible. I feel like this approach results in music that is uninspired and the lack of effort is noticeable to the listener. The question is, do you want to make tracks that reveal your own lack of engagement with the process? Do you want to bore your listeners? Do you want your listener to be able to tell you didn't really care about the music you were making? Well, I sure hope not. When I make music, I want it to engage the listener. I want them to really feel the emotions I'm trying to put into the track, and I want them excited for the next section of the track rather than growing bored or uninterested. That's why when I make music, I attempt to put myself into the figurative shoes of the listener. As a fan of dance music myself, I know what it's like to have a positive emotional reaction to a tune, or to be bored or irritated with an uninspired or cynical track. I want to encourage a positive response to my music, so I try to keep my tracks engaging. This is why adding or removing elements every 16 bars, for example, is something I bang on about endlessly, but that's by no means the end of the story. I'll really make an effort to critically listen to my music during its production mindfully, imagining the response the listener will have to it. The sort of questions I'll ask myself are: is the music making me feel excited? Do the elements flow together in a cohesive way, or does it feel like a mess? Do the elements sound right when they come in? Is this getting repetitive? Are the transitions smooth and effective? Are these sounds harsh or fatiguing? Does my music meet their expectations of the genre? And last but certainly not least, does this track make me want to dance? Now, I'm by no means suggesting a thoughtless, formulaic approach to production. I'm saying you should pay attention to each piece of music you make individually and try and make sure each one sparkles and sings rather than droning on like a dirge. If you're making dance music, which is likely if you're watching my channel, you actually have a few different audiences to think about: home listeners, ravers, and DJs. All of these groups have their own requirements, and thinking about what a DJ would think about your music is, in my opinion, still pretty important. When you send a DJ a track, you don't want them to think, well, this is okay, but it gets a bit boring in the middle, there's no hook, the intro is hard to mix. You want them to think, I cannot wait to mix this in my next set. I'm gonna love it. The crowd's gonna love it. What a banger. I'm so excited. I just received this tune. So, in summary, I suggest two things to do when you're working on a tune. 1. When you're listening back to it, try to put yourself in the shoes of the audience, whoever that might be. 2. Don't treat your arrangement as a boring chore to be solved. Think of each 16-bar section as an opportunity to excite, surprise, beguile, or seduce your listeners. Again, if you'd like some tutoring, link is in the description, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra!